with other activities in the educational program, inmates are given...
I hadn't thought about it for probably 50 years. And about 5 years ago, I picked up a piece of newspaper out of the trash can one morning on a project to read with my coffee, and I started reading about this White House boys, and I began to realize what they were talking about. And I found myself sitting there with my head between my knees, crying like a baby.
Upon admission, each inmate Appalachia. For the first time, many of these boys receive proper training and instruction in personal cleanliness and neatness.
I was lashed 35 times with a wide leather strap, 35 lashes with a belt across my buttocks for my response to being assaulted by another inmate at the school.
At this time, the superintendent has an opportunity to explore the background of the inmate and perhaps discover a formula which will help in the rehabilitation of the individual.
And they beat my butt until blood was running in my shoes. They told me to get to my cottage. On the way to my cottage, I thought, well, these people's gonna kill me. I'm hard-headed. I hit the woods again. I was out there 2 days that time. Come back, they beat me again. I woke up in the hospital. I never ran again.
If the reports are favorable, he is commended. If his program has not produced satisfactory results, more time is devoted to counseling, which may result in a different approach to the problem.
When I was going down the White House, of course, when you don't know what's happening, you think you're Mr. Big Guy. And I went over and sat on the bed waiting my turn. And when the guy before me, when they put the first paddle to him, I changed my mind what was going on, and that's pretty scary. I went from big guy to little guy.
Members of the staff have been chosen for their experience and for their ability to work with young people who were unable to adjust satisfactorily or to hold a job in their earlier environment. Through patience and kindness, these men are often able to rekindle a spark of interest or ambition. And life on the outside, slowly but surely, takes on a meaning which was earlier unknown.
And the worst thing that ever happened was a little 11-year-old boy his name was Tucker too, that I used to give special attention to when he came in line, because he had a nervous tick and licked his bottom lip constantly until it was raw. But I always gave him something extra when he came through the chow line, because I was working on the food line. And one day they come and got me and took me over there. When I walked in that room, on that cot was that little old boy laying there on that bed, crying and screaming because they'd already been trying to beat him. And they made me get at the head of that bed and pull his arms up behind his back while another boy held his feet. Sorry, can't quite get past that one yet. And while they beat him, he was sitting there in my face screaming for his mama and God and help me, and he didn't understand why I was holding him down like that. And he never looked at me again after that. When he'd come through the chow line, he'd always just have his head down. He'd never look at me again. And then I started coming to these meetings here about 5 years ago and talking about it and talking to people about it and all the stories that it was the same story. We've all got the same story.
It has been written, there are no atheists in foxholes. So it is here. During their time of confinement, the boys ask and receive spiritual guidance for many of their problems. Feeling alone and afraid, and having a fear of the future, many of these young people ask for religious publications. Church is always well attended, and the messages delivered are designed to shed light in dark corners, to inspire and to comfort those who need help.
I know personally of one boy they killed, and I know that there was others that was killed up in Mariana. And their bodies are going to be discovered up there, and it's going to be brought to light. But this was the state that did this to us. We didn't do this stuff to us. They did.
I don't care if they pay me a nickel. I don't need their money. I want them to hold themselves accountable for their actions and inaction to the abuse of children. I want the state of Florida to write me a personal apology, and I want it public.
During his final hours at the institution, each boy meets with the superintendent. Before departing, his mental, physical, social, and spiritual progress is reviewed. His plans for the future are discussed, and he is encouraged to follow the program that has been outlined for him.
Anger, shame, guilt, because they made you believe that all that was your fault, not theirs. You made them beat you. You made them do that to you, and they told you that. And so when they take you back out of those gates and put you on a bus back home, you're carrying all that guilt and all the shame that they made you, and they beat it into you, and you believed it.